The good, I like the book. The bad, it's huge. This is a magazine-sized bag. This is BCW Modern Bag and Board. You may notice these things, are not the same size. Like, it's ludicrous. This book is huge. And I'm kind of sick of that. I'm kind of sick of these DC Black Label books being gigantic. I understand they're going for like a premium imprint, and you can see it like with the reflectivity of the Superman. It doesn't really show. It shows up better in person than it does on the camera, I think. But that's lightly silvered, whatever ink they used here, and it looks awesome in person. The book is super wavy. Uh, yeah, you can kind of see it there. But that's some of the bad. Get back into the good. I kind of like how the book looks. John Romita Jr. art looks pretty good. Who did the inking? Danny Mickey. I don't recognize that. And Alex Sinclair. He did a pretty good job on the colors. Stuff pops. Krypton looks pretty cool, doesn't it? And that's where my problems with the book start. There's this really long segment at the very beginning of the book that is the journey from Krypton through space. It's, I don't know, 5 pages long, seven, let's see, one, two, three, four, five, seven, eight. It's 8 pages before something happens. Everything that happens here up to this part of the book, all these pages, doesn't look like that many, but it was a slog to read through. All of this can be summarized in a single page. Everybody, everybody, everybody knows Superman is from Krypton. You don't have to spend 8 pages, even in like an origin story telling me about that in 2019. I almost stopped reading the book. Oh my lord, I almost stopped reading this dang book because it just took too long to get going. Once we do get going, and he lands on Earth with the Kents, Pa Kent goes and gets him out of the ship, and this is problem number 2. John Kent feels something probe inside his skull. A gentle warmth makes him feel like his brain is floating. Boy coos, please, this is not a hostel. Let him take him to your new home. Let him think this is all his idea. What? You mean Pa Kent is not a good-hearted man who would have rescued an orphan on his own? He had to be mind controlled into it by somebody who doesn't have telepathic powers? What? What? Is that canonical before this book? Because that ruins Pa Kent's character. That absolutely destroys it. The rest of the book, I don't have any problem with. The pacing is very deliberate, very slow. It's a high school drama. It's all about Clark Kent's friends getting bullied at school and him going through the growing pains of what do you do when you're the Man of Steel and you're living in a world made of tissue paper? Where's the fight? Yeah. So he's like, look, leave my friends alone. And then he gets attacked. And basically, they just hurt themselves trying to hurt him. Now, one of his friends turns out he's a snitch. He's also dating Lana Lang. She's got the hots for him. She's like, oh, yeah. And he's like, huh, what? But it's really cute. Their little relationship that's budding and stuff, it's really well done. It feels good. It feels pretty natural. The dialogue mostly is fine. Like, people actually kind of talk like human beings. Of course, the bullies go after her. I gotta give DC editorial credit for one thing. They managed to rein Frank Miller in. There's only one attempted. I don't even want to say the word because I'll get demonetized. Well, I'm not monetized, but I'll get in trouble with YouTube if I say it. It starts with an R. There's like only one attempted thing like that in the whole book, which for Frank Miller in 2019 is kind of like a breath of fresh air. Oh, here's another problem. Here's like problem number 4 with this book. Since it's square bound, I can't lay it flat. Why there's this sweeping bow to the pages. Anyway, Clark saves her naturally, and he's got some great lines in here. He's like, let me court you, and I'll tell you everything, and it's awesome. It's very sweet. Pa Kent has a great line in here. Let's see, bum, 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 bum. Yeah, it's this page. Do I talk to those bullies, or do I just flatten them? Pa Kent, I won't have any more words of violence at my table. Pa Kent, first you talk to them, then you flatten them. Not one more word, Pa. He's like, yes, of course, you should do what your mother says. Suddenly I'm coughing here. Can't have justice without truth. Ain't that the truth? This is interesting enough that I think I'm gonna go with it. There's some cute stuff in here. Like, it's pretty heartfelt, I think. I'm really surprised that it's Frank Miller is writing something that is this tame. You know, it's like I was talking about Garth Ennis's Sarah with somebody, and I'm like, it is super duper tame. This isn't a Garth Ennis story at all. This doesn't feel like a Frank Miller story at all. Now, maybe things will liven up because Clark Kent joins the Navy. Is that canonical too? Or did they invent that? Because, like, in every version of the origin story I've ever bothered to, like, pay attention to, and maybe I should pay attention to more of them, like, it's just, he goes to journalism school, and then he gets a job. I don't remember the you'll sell the seven seas bit. Maybe that's normal, maybe not. It felt weird. It absolutely felt really weird. But you know, the post high school part of this is definitely part of like the lore that I don't really comprende myself. Now, another thing, another thing. There's this book called Doomsday Clock. You might have heard of it. You might have just heard about it. It's taken like 2 years to do 10 issues, and there's no sign of it ever speeding up and actually completing. So, you know, the next issue will probably come out in 2021, and the next one after that will be in like 2025 or something at the rate it's going. But the last issue of that is Dr. Manhattan figuring out how the DC universe works. One of his examples is he just keeps seeing the timeline of Superman shifting forward into the future. Really, headset? Really? You all just have to live with that. I've been on a tear on this. Let me plug my wire into my headset so it won't beep again. I apologize for that. I'm not re-recording this because I will never get this passion back if I stop now. Gosh, where was I? Oh yeah, Doomsday Clock. And one of the things that is explicitly part of Dr. Manhattan's motivations for what he's doing in that book is trying to understand how the story keeps changing and why, and what effects he can have if he just changes things very slightly in the story. And look here, he's witnessed like multiple Superman origin story versions, and here's another version of the Superman origin story. I choose to believe that Doomsday Clock is kind of a meta commentary about comics, and from that perspective, that makes this book really kind of funny. Just its fundamental existence is kind of a joke, I think. It's good enough. I'm going to buy the second one and see how that goes because I'm kind of interested in seeing what happens once Clark Kent joins the Navy. Yeah, I think we're done with this. I think we're done chatting about this. You all have a great day. I apologize for the beep beep beep. I would edit it out, but I'm afraid you're going to lose something if I go back and I edit it and I do it badly or whatever. So, whatever's. Have a great day. Remember, like, comment, subscribe. Check out all that social media stuff in the description below. And there's probably some things you can click on here in the screen. I'll see you next time. Till then, bye-bye.